All right, I just got motivated to basically do this video to share a little bit of Mgtow advice with you all, for you fellow Mgtows out there, fellow TIs as always. Need to also take notes down on this. Now, I will say this is not all women, but I want to talk about some of my own experiences and what I've learned with dealing with someone. Now then, TIs, some of you I may have told, that there's an important video on this channel you need to check. It's not going to be this one. It's going to be the one underneath this one that's uploaded. So you definitely want to check that out. Just so, there's no confusion there. But anyway, okay, here's the deal. Let's start on the first category, attention whores. Once again, this is not all women, but there's quite a lot of women out there who do have this problem. From what I've witnessed, you never noticed that like a woman would actually date a guy, and all of a sudden shit don't go right. All of a sudden you see a girlfriend showing up, giving her the sympathy. You see a family member showing up, giving her the sympathy, and then you see her guy friends giving her the sympathy. Let me tell you something about that. Now, I'm not saying that this doesn't happen. There are scenarios where this happens to where, like it's actually an actual breakup. Something really did go wrong. That is a huge possibility to happen. But there's also a problem that's out there alongside that. There are women out there who intentionally date fucked up dudes out there, okay? They intentionally date guys with bad fucking habits, and that's what their terms, what they would say. They just intentionally date guys who they know is just gonna pump and dump, treat them like shit. They intentionally date these guys, right? They do. They intentionally do it now. And I'm gonna tell you why they do it. Women have become so addicted to attention that they will basically go out of their way to date someone like that. And then what happens afterwards, they do it for attention. They dress in skimpy looking outfits for attention. They will probably even flash a little bit of the cleavage, just the top, for attention. They will wear tight clothing for attention. They will do all of this shit for attention. This is from other women. This is from other dudes. And yes, I'm dead serious, especially from guys. They definitely especially do this from guys. They do this periodically, all for attention. It's just a fucking setup. So after this happens, they do the same shit over again, and again, and again, and again, until eventually, what most of us MGTOWs know, they hit the wall. After that, that's done. There is no more other than that. Because you ever notice how they would like the friend zone guys? You notice that? That's a woman that's addicted to attention. So you see, she does that to basically get the attention that she's not getting when the dude she's dating or banging is not around. So that's proof that one dude is not enough to satisfy that single woman. It's not enough. Don't know why, but that's just how it is. A lot of guys started to realize this, that it was just a huge game they were playing, a huge messed up thing that they were playing. And here's the thing: you only have one life to live, man. In this type of it, in this world, no one's gonna want to waste. I don't get where some of these females get this idea from, where a guy is just gonna want to waste their fucking life away being friend zoned like that. And even worse, I don't know where the fuck the dude gets it in his head to be friend zoned like that. Let me tell you something. Some people will probably see this situation and say, well, you were friend zoned if I tell them this. No, motherfucker. Don't get the wrong idea. I feel sorry for this woman in a little bit, because she was a bitch. I actually considered her a friend. I may have said, I wanted to bang her from time to time, but no. In reality, no, I wasn't serious. I only did it just to basically cheer her up, because I seen she was going through a lot of shit. Now, when it got to a point where she actually was starting to, where she actually started to try to approach me that way, that's when I cut it off. I wasn't simping, as some of you would call it, because I wasn't idolizing her at all. None. I may have said, well, like I would bang you, or whatever, but that's it. I was being just flirtatious. That's it. I wasn't serious about it. Now, I'm not giving no names out. Okay, so don't worry about that. I'm keeping this person anonymous. But I warned her about some of the dudes she was dating and some of the stuff that I suspected that was going to happen, and I wasn't even surprised. The first incident that happened, that situation was related to a guy she was dating. Again, I'm not giving out any names. Turns out the dude, he had drugs or whatever. It's nothing wrong with smoking weed or anything like that. It's just that he was selling it out of his home, and I'm like, something, the cops. She, at some point, she was dating this guy, and she didn't hear anything from him for a while. She didn't, and she was getting concerned, and I'm like, something. Now again, I was warning her about it. This guy had different mood swings of aggravation. He was getting pissed off at certain points of time. Now, there are some people who do have trouble controlling their anger, but at the same time, we already know about the mind technology stuff that exists out there. This is a complete different conversation excluded from that. All right. So eventually she finds out the guy got locked up, and it turns out they found drugs in his home, and they found out he was selling drugs. Um, Here's the deal: she spent the night in that home. She did. So what would have happened if she was caught in there in that place? Well, quite simply, just because of her being there, she would have been arrested too. You know, guilty by association. That's how that works. Um, so I warned her about that. She got super pissed off about it, but even I want to say like maybe after a little bit before that, like later on, it got to a point to where I started dating a woman, right? This is after I dated another woman I was dating or whatever. But I started dating this other woman. Now this other woman did have kids. It got to a point to where the woman I was dating, she didn't want. Now I wasn't. At this point in time, I was not being flirtatious with this friend of mine. I wasn't doing any of that shit. I wasn't. But the woman I was dating, she didn't like me basically talking to her. Right? She didn't like that at all. Yet I found that kind of funny because so you can get mad at me for talking to another female, even though I'm not flirting with her. But it's okay for so it's okay for you to have dude friends, but I can't have any female friends, right? Like, what the fuck is up with that? So I'm like, okay, okay. And I ended up finding out, so I didn't actually see legit proof that she cheated, but the behavior was clear enough that the woman I was dating was clearly cheating. You know what they will do? Starts getting to the point where they're extremely moody, lack of sex. Then it gets to a point to where you know, you the biggest giveaway is when you basically catch people fraternizing with your woman at her job. Considering that she works at a excuse me, this is very concerning. For most guys, this should be concerning. If you got a woman and she is basically working in a motel complex or some sort of especially a hotel, you might want to be careful about that because nowadays people are prone to cheat quite often. Now, if I ever find out if I ever date a woman, I find out she cheats on me even once, I'm done. I cut it off at that point. It's not even. And you got to understand because of it's dangerous dealing with a scenario like that, man. A lot of people don't realize how dangerous that is because and I'm gonna give you an example, right? Now my friend, my female friend, she ends up dating another dude, and this dude was at her job, at a new job she was working at. And apparently, this is where she caught a sexually transmitted disease. I warned her. You cannot just be sleeping with random people out there like that. You can't be doing that. But she didn't listen. Um, and that's the end result. Now, here's the deal. Situations like that have happened before, to where a woman would catch that, and then you know, they would they get, you see, and that's the problem. You see, they get so addicted to that kind of lifestyle, that just be sleeping around with random folks, that when it gets to a point to where you can't just do it anymore, and if you try, you're gonna be in some deep fucking trouble. I hope people start to understand what I'm getting. Because of that, there's a problem out here in Baton Rouge, to where they got it to where people just don't even talk about the whole HIV pandemic out here. That's one of the damn reasons why I'm not dating out here, man. They don't talk about that shit. That's why it's such a big fucking problem. They don't talk about it. They don't talk about it because they got people out here who apparently love to brag about how they infected people with that shit. And I know because I've seen graffiti stating that. Man, I tell you though, seeing half the bullshit that this world had to offer, man, it's fucked up as relationships between men and women. It got me in that point where I just don't even want to fucking date anymore. It really has. Not saying that dating, isn't wrong or anything. It's okay, but like not with the bullshit we got out here, man. Not with what's going on. No. It was different way back then, but now, like, seeing all of this crap unfolding the way that it is, feminism shit is making it worse. Man, can you imagine half of some of those attention whores are going through right now? And ladies, again, I'm not saying that all females out there are attention whores. So, just so you know, I'm not saying all of you are like that. But there is a pretty decent percentage of you who are. Okay? Um, as far as I know, I've never really cheated on any female. There were some females that were convinced, saying, "Oh no, you cheating on me," but that doesn't make sense, because first off, these women I've never met, I've never even dated, and I sure as hell never even banged. So yeah, no, that's not no, that I didn't consider that to be a real relationship, unless unless I met this woman, unless I actually physically started, establishing a face-to-face relationship, and we were in the same area, dating, holding hands, having intimate relationships, the whole 9 yards, then it doesn't fucking count. Um, there were occurrences to where you see, this is why I'm very careful even with online, because there were some occurrences to where I even attracted a freaking female stalker at one point. I'm not gonna really get into that, but I will say this: just be careful who you basically deal with online, because you never know. That's unrelated on regards of what the targeting that I'm going through now, though. But it's just a decent example. That's just the sum of the stuff that exists out there, man, and it's not a pretty sight dealing with that at all. It was. I mean, I actually literally had to change my damn PSN name just to get away from that situation, and I blocked this person. I did, and that was this damn female still basically tried to find me through my damn friends list, but mind you. So, long story short, it's just a simple bit. Now, I don't, as far as online dating is concerned, I don't do that shit at all. A lot of females who I have met online don't even know this, but I consider that a big taboo right there. Considering the fact, well, I don't believe that, and I can't go, I've decided not to go based off on an internet, um, meeting, because it's not the same as when you meet a person face to face. It's nowhere near the same. It's much different. I did try that once before, and one of the females I talked to during that time, she could not even talk on the phone. The only thing she was just comfortable with is just texting. She could not even hold up a conversation on the phone or anything like that. And that was the first time I ever tried online dating, and I haven't fucked with it since. I wasn't even serious about it. I was just messing around with it. But ever since then, I was like, just, just no, it's just no, because like it just doesn't, it just doesn't seem right. It doesn't seem like you get that really good one-on-one experience stuff with or whatever. So I figured like if you were to date anybody, like any fellas, if you were to date a ladies, if you were to date a guy, yeah, I feel like it'd be a lot better to do that locally than it would be across country or even especially online, man. Don't fuck with those apps because those things are just a big freaking scam. At some point, I believe everybody probably messed with those things at some point in their life. Maybe not everybody, but some people do get curious from time to time. There's nothing wrong with that. But I would highly advise, especially now, I would definitely highly advise from messing with stuff like that because started basically looking on the Reddit chats about stuff like that when I was doing the research on them after that first time. Found out they were actually setting people up through those things to basically get jumped, and they would basically have it set up to where it's like a double date or something, and it would just be a fucking setup. People would get robbed, they would get jumped, and they would be led into this one dark area, whatever, that they're not familiar with, that it barely has any camera footage around anywhere, and that's where it went down. That's usually where it goes down at. Hell, they'll even try to bribe you on there. The biggest one of all though is the Kenya shit that they got, the Kenya store that they were using on there, and what they would do, the scam that they were running, they would basically pose and say, "Oh, I'm the ambassador's daughter, and I got I'm inheriting certain such amounts of dollars or whatever, but I need help to like get out of here because of how people know how dangerous Kenya is, man. People know that." But like it's like a seriously fucked up scam, and I'm like, something, I could easily see through this shit, and that's why like another reason why like I'm just abandoning dating, because like people just mix love with money too damn much, and that's one of the reasons why I'm just not even looking for it, man. I'm just not. Maybe maybe there could have been something decent out there. I don't know. I couldn't say. But I do know one thing. These are times that are far, way out of our control. We're doing our damn hardest to basically, push for the truth to be seen. But I just don't have it in me anymore to really go out there and seek the date or anything like that. I just don't see it. For me, that's just me though. Don't take my advice. Don't take my situation as for yourself to do what you want to do. Just look at your own situation and decide what you feel is best for yourself. But for me, I just don't see it. It's not that it's impossible for me to go out and date. That's not the case. It's not that I don't know how to. It's not that I don't know how to talk to a female. I know how to talk to a female. Problem is, it's just that the circumstances of a lot of the environment, a lot of the current condition of the community that we're in. So many people who are brainwashed. That's not even counting that, but also the fact that like there's a lot of people who are just too fucking stuck up. That's one way to put it. But the other way to put it is that they get so far full of themselves, and it's like the main majority of the situation is just for people to basically just fuck, cheat, and then they see it as a game. I think that's my biggest problem is that people see relationships as a game. There's no way in hell I'm ever getting married, but I refuse to see relationships as a game. That's just I'm not doing that. No, I'm not stooping down to that level, and that's just me. I refuse to basically see someone else's feelings as a whole game. I'll have my fun. I'll have some shits and gigs here. I'll have a quick laugh here and there, but yeah, man, I'm not seeing. And then you hear statements like, "Don't don't hate the player, hate the game." And it's just like this whole thing of basically just fucking with people's emotions. This is the game, not just to the dude doing it, but also to the females too, who are also just as responsible for this shit happening. I hope people start to really realize what's really happening here. Definitely a Mgtow for life. You guys fucking believe that, but I still believe that feminist shit that happened. I still believe that basically the elites created that. I believe they created that because it seems like a lot of the stuff that's been happening lately, even the welfare, has been created to basically break up the families, break up any type of genuine relationship. Whenever it comes to a genuine relationship, you notice how there's always that outside source to fuck with it every time. And I'm telling you, like I've witnessed this stuff happen multiple times. It's insane, and it's just like something. It doesn't. It just gets to a point to where how fake this world is. Something like, do we even know what genuine connectivity is between both a man and a woman? Do we really know what that actually is? I'm gonna tell you something. I have experienced this. I have found this, but unfortunately, due to my circumstances right now, I had to abandon it. I had to. It's not something I wanted to do, but it just wasn't in the situation for me to stay. And any TI would basically say the same. It's not going to be no normalcy even if you date somebody even as a TI. I'm sorry to say that. That's just the truth behind it. It's either you're both targeted or someone who you're dating is basically psyoping you. That's just basically the ins and outs about that. Now, I'm not gonna upload this video first thing maybe I will. I don't know, but I will leave a warning at the another thing. Most TIs don't really want to touch on this subject because, like, a lot of us tend to stay alone mostly for our safety because we know there's a shit ton of bullshit out there. Man and female TIs realize this. It's just a lot of bullshit out there. These perps are well controlled, and it's crazy. They'll have it set up. Now, both the females and the guys, TIs, have gone through this. They'll have it set up where you start dating somebody. You'll get to a point to where you basically get to that next level, and you end up basically sleeping with that person. All of a sudden, they just take off. Now, I have never experienced that, but I don't plan to. They tried that before, possibly tried the whole honeypot thing, and she gets me into bed, basically tells a lie. Next thing you know, I'm in jail. Since I'm a Mgtow, I saw through that shit a mile away, didn't fall for it, and they tried it. They tried this shit multiple times. Didn't work ever since. So that's when, as you all know, they decided to go about this whole thing a different direction. And they decided to be, saying, well, since he's not falling for the fee, it's not that I don't find these women attractive. It's not that I wouldn't even date any of these women. But at the same time, like two of those ladies, look, it depends on the type of people you're hanging around with, and depends on basically how you carry yourself and how you act. I'm not gonna find any ghetto type female attractive. I'm sorry, I don't even give a fuck what your skin tone is. I just don't find women like that attractive. I don't find that type of behavior befitting for a woman at all. But that's just me. That's my taste. There's guys out there who love that shit. Don't just look at me. I'm entitled to basically have my taste the way that they are, just as well as any woman is entitled to have her taste the way she has. As the same thing goes out for any other guy too. We all have our preferences and what we like, and that's just it. Me, I do love my women in a specific fashion, just as well as any other guy does too. So does women when it goes to men. But it gets unfair when people basically try to ridicule the hell out of you for that, and then they just go up like, oh, well, like, am I too, I'm not good enough for you or some shit like that, and it's like, I'm not even fucking dating you. I'm not even fucking dating you. Like, what the fuck? Okay, so On another topic, as you all know, I will be leaving the grid this month. Okay. I'm going to be doing measurements today on the boards that I'm gonna need, and then I need to go to the store and pick those up. Maybe sometime this. I guess I could still do that this week, and then chance to take care of the other stuff next week or whatever. But I'm gonna definitely be out of here before the end of this month hits. Way before the end of this month hits. Um, I've done what I could. I went to my job. I basically shouted out the names of both channels for plenty of people to know. Whenever I went into the store, I shouted out the names of both my channels, even in there. I told plenty of people about Plain Truth for You. I told plenty of people about Jeff Censored. I told them online. I told them offline. I did the best I could. But I'm not finna be, wearing. I'm not finna be submitted to basically wearing a mask into this satanic agenda. Um, I want to be able to help other TIs get off the grid too. It's not an easy thing considering what they got going on. I'm just getting out of here before they lock this place down too, because that's eventually going to happen. Now, I'm not going to be on land. I'm going to be on the sea, and it's a good thing. Now, here's the thing. I want to basically bring this up about a situation. Be careful if you. I don't recommend anybody to freaking shop at Amazon anymore. I only went and got what I needed to when it came to the stuff from last time. Excuse me. But be wary because remember the whole business about the shed thing. Well, I looked into that. Turns out, how the fuck do you say you're selling a kit? A kit, but it's not a kit. And I saw it was a customer who said this shit. Like, they will sell kits, but you're not getting the whole damn thing for one price. You're buying the shit in portions, and it's adding up to a much higher price. They say the kit is a certain price, but then you find yourself purchasing extra shit. It's crazy. So definitely, if you looking for like any type of way to build a shed, anything like that, be careful, man, because they do have scams on that. But also, oh fuck my leg, ow, ow. Oh man, it's just just be careful. Do what you can. Do what you need. Do what you feel that you need to do. Um, I want to try to when I get out of here. I want to really try to as soon as I got to get this stuff out of my system, people. I do. This assimilated crap that's underneath my skin, I gotta get it out. That's the only reason why this damn technology has its connections on me now. If I strip that out, they have no more connection. Um, I believe that most of these attacks are definitely, due to a lot of the equipment that we're surrounded by when it comes to these towers, which is why it's important to get away from those. Now, as far as anything else is concerned, man, thinking about it now, that first topic, all those guys they got friend zoned, all those women that were using those guys. Can you imagine what they're going through? What they're dealing with a time like this right now? Damn, that's gonna be a real effed up situation. Those guys must be super pissed that they got basically drug around by a single woman so much. If nothing didn't turn them, to Mgtows, then they had to be Mgtows by now. Some of them have to be, dude. They gotta be, cause come on, man, chase that. I just don't see myself chasing after no damn woman. I just don't see it. Oh, I got one thing to tell you guys. This happened at my old job, and I think I told this before, but in case I didn't, just in case I didn't. It was this female there, right? Now, I don't know if this was a part of a psyop. I don't know because this woman was coming on way too fast. But anyway, okay. So then, I'm working at my job, right? And I'm in charge of cleaning these totes that they got in there. Now, usually I would stack these things up to the side or whatever, right? I would stack them up on the side as I'm cleaning them out. Each time they wanted me to just focus out on that while the others took care of the trucks, right? When they came to empty out all the materials, they sort through them and then they store them in the other trucks on the other side, right? For, just basically shuffling around in storage. So we get this new female worker in, and what she does now, the supervisor goes off saying, "Well, like, can out of all the people who were working there, people who've been there longer than me, and I already had something I had to do. There was really no trucks around at this time. These guys weren't really doing anything at the time. And out of all the people, and when I explain this, you're gonna be like, that had to have been a fucking psyop. Okay. So out of all the people he had who've been there way longer than me, he goes to me and says, "Can you just show her the ropes or whatever?" Maybe it was because I was just cleaning the totes out. I guess I don't know. So what happens is, I go ahead and do that, but then for some strange reason, she up and tries to keep a conversation going, and she tries to twist the situation to unrelated topics, and it starts taking to a turn to where it's getting too personal. I'll break that shit off immediately, and I tell her, "Look, the supervisor's watching. You may want to just go and do your work so you don't get in trouble. I'm not trying to be a bad guy. I'm just saying it as it is. And I don't want nobody to get in trouble, so you don't just go on, do your work, whatever, right?" So several occurrences similar to this starts to happen, and it gets to a point where, okay, I need to cut this shit off immediately. Just do my job and keep to myself. I eventually had to tell the supervisor about this, and I'm gonna tell you why it led to me having to tell him about that. It got to a point to where she was doing a lot of unnecessary things. You know how a female would have like a really good frame on her, but she flexes that shit out too much, showing it off. Now, at a job site, doing that intentionally, that tends to be very inappropriate. I'm speaking business-wise here now. So she does that shit a lot, and it just gets to a point to, well, I ended up, out of all the places she could have parked her machine that she used to move the shit around, she parks herself right on the other side of those totes. People, I am catching her basically peeking at me through these fucking totes. So I'm like, okay, let me turn this shit around. So she ain't doing that anymore. Mind you, I'm all the way in the corner of the building, and there's a outdoor wall there, right? There's an outdoor wall. It even says on the sign, you're not supposed to leave your equipment in the doorway right there. They don't even want that door open like that. They don't. They want it closed. So what happens is, I ended up changing that around, and then she gets even more personal after a lot of this shit starts to happen, and she starts busting, and she starts interrupting in the middle of conversation she has nothing to do with, and I'm like, you just need, like, why are you even doing that? Why? I'm not even talking to you, and yet you're being very rude. I'm just being very honest, because, like, at this point, normally I would just be as polite as I could be, but she done this shit several times. So I was kind of, it was definitely getting annoying at that point. It's not cute, it's just fucking annoying. So going on a little bit farther, it gets to a point to where she really I was trying to really just ignore this shit, and this would led me to basically having to go talk to a family member about this, a female, because understand, females understand other females way more than guys understand females. So I figured she would have a good idea of what the hell was going on, right? So what this woman did, not the woman, not my cousin, not my family member that I went to go talk to about some advice. I'm talking about the woman who's been giving me these damn problems. What she does is she comes up to me while I'm basically making this bill from the the waste that we had coming in, like I think it was like the plastic that we were putting in there or the cardboard or something. We usually put a bit of both. It's either going to be one or the other, but I believe it's mostly the plastic that we put in there. So what happens is that she ends up pulling up, and out of nowhere, very unexpectedly, she ends up saying these words. These were her exact words. Why don't you ever look at me, and why don't you want me looking at you? I'm like, dude, what the fuck? You're my damn coworker. I don't fucking. I even told the guys who work there, I don't fucking believe in dating coworkers, man. I don't do that shit. They fucking date female coworkers all the time, but you will not catch me doing that shit because I don't believe that you need to basically be getting your honey where you get your money from, okay? I don't believe in that shit. Anybody else wants to do that, fine. But don't fucking enforce that shit on other people, man. No, that shit is not cool. It's not. So eventually, I don't go straight to the supervisor, but I went straight to my cousin talking about this, and she told me, you know something, you might want to, talk to the supervisor about that. So the next day goes by, and I do just that. I said, look, man, I'm not gonna go into detail because I still didn't want to get her in trouble. Maybe it was, I don't know, maybe I was just reading too far into it. Maybe there was a misunderstanding, even though there really wasn't. So I'm like, you know something, I just tell him, can you just please keep an eye on the situation? Because, like, I don't want this to just, get into a position to where it gets out of hand and, someone gets in trouble or anything like that. And he says, yeah, I'll keep an eye on the situation. Um, People, this woman did something that, dude, this shit got so fucking creepy. She ends up later on in the middle of the lunchroom saying, hey, me and my girlfriends actually saw you over by the bus stop over by the mall. People, the times I take the bus going and leaving, that was the only time. The time I take the bus heading to work is early in the morning. The time I take the bus leaving is late in the afternoon because I have to wait for that bus to show up. Usually I would either sometimes catch a ride because it'd be too soon for me to basically catch it. But it takes time for me to basically get over there, right? Now, this woman's in a damn car. She's in a car, right? She's in a car. Um the Here's the deal. There should be no reason that even if she, her and her girlfriends pulled in, they shouldn't have even seen me because first off, you got buses constantly over there. And you have several entrances. Like the female shit is all on literally right there, right when you pull in. I'm way on the other fucking side, down the street from the mall. Okay? Way on the other side. So there's no way they would have seen me unless they were looking for me. It got to a point to where like she was getting way too ahead of herself when it came to getting attention, and she damn near ran over my fucking foot with a one of those electric powered jacks for the warehouses. She almost intentionally ran over my fucking foot just for attention. Ladies, now I'm warning you. Attention is not that fucking serious. Okay? It's not. Stop being, please, for the sake of everybody out there, and guys, you too, you fucking simps that are out there. Stop being so fucking addicted to attention so fucking much. Stop. Seriously. That shit, man, that shocked the hell out of me because like that's not the I ended up hearing I heard stories that like some similar shit was happening to other people too. It was that was a woman who actually damn near ran a guy over, literally being so obsessed thinking that he was cheating on her, but in reality she was cheating on him, and it was the guilt that was eating away at her that forced her to act so damn crazy. And it's just Man, that shit, that crap, dude, just no. That was just immediate. To me, that was just like immediate no. But guess what? She good news. She did leave me alone after all of that bullshit that was happening. She started dating and one of the coworkers there. But people, this is where the what the fuck moment comes up. This woman did all that shit, and she already had a man at home, and she wasn't living. He wasn't living in her house. She was living in his house. That's right. She's got a kid, and she was living with. She lives with. She already has a man living with this motherfucker, and she's trying to basically fraternize with and fuck the dudes at her job. Motherfucker, like what the fuck? If that's not a setup, I don't know what the fuck is. I don't know what the fuck is, man. And it's like, and it got to that point too, but it didn't happen like that with me. It happened with somebody else. It got to a point where the guy she was dating at the house ended up finding out that she was dating a guy from the job. And it got to a point to where that shit got heated. I wasn't around when this happened, but the dude apparently showed up and raised whole hell up when he got there. He did. Now, I believe she most likely got fired after that. And strangely enough, both that dude she was dating at the job and her just up and disappeared. Don't even know what the fuck happened to them after that. But I think that dude got like a different job. He started working at a new place or whatever. But they're all going like, man, like you didn't know that she was like, dude, look, I've been told him, look, I sensed that woman had problems after she was doing the shit she was doing, and I left that shit alone. I even went as far as getting advice from another woman to tell me about that shit, who actually was already settled down, who was comfortable to tell a guy this shit, because you're not gonna get that information from us. You're not always gonna get that kind of advice from a single woman. And what I mean by advice, I mean genuine, actual advice, not misleading advice, genuine advice. It's not an easy thing to come by. Most women won't just tell you the secrets of what these females be doing. Why? Because that defeats the purpose of the game. And I wish people didn't even refer to it like that, but that's just what they do. And that's just one of the reasons why I'm not even looking, man. I just don't see the point. Especially with the way things are programmed, I don't see the point. I don't. And I damn sure don't see any point in bringing any offspring in a world like this. I don't. I would love to settle down. I really would love to, but something, this world we live in is just too fucking wicked. It is. There are some good women out there, but they are a dime a dozen. It's just like finding a needle in a haystack. Ladies, same thing goes for the guys, but the problem is we know, some of us do know that there are good women out there. Same fucking concept. It's like trying to find a fucking needle in a haystack. You got all of these, it's like when you try to find a good woman out there, you got to basically dig through all the bad and rotten ones before you can find an actual good one. Do you understand how much bullshit that is to have to do that? How much annoyance that can be? How much pain that causes? That's too much. It makes dating not even fucking worth it. It really does. It truly does, man. And for those of you who did find a decent woman in your life, who are happy, genuinely happy with what you got, stay true to yourself and stay true with the person you with. Ladies, same thing to you too as well. When you find a man who you wanted to be beside you, you love that person to death do you part, you keep that going strong. All right. But man, I see all that fake shit out there, and I'm like, something. Any of those idiots that try to basically run that bull crap by me, it's not phasing me. Because I know I could see through that shit, man. I see through that shit. I'm not falling for that. No. I see through that bullshit. I see it for what the fuck it is, and I want no part of it. These bullshit ass games they run on people, man, this bullshit ass playing, messing around and shit Fucking around. I want nothing to do with that. No. And I want nothing to do with females who hang around people who act like that. No. Because no good comes from that shit. That's a bad fucking influence right there. And that's exactly what it is. Whether they like to hear it or not, I do not give a fuck. I could care less. I'm saying it for how it is and exactly how it is, and that's exactly what I meant. No apologies intended whatsoever. For people who do want to find somebody, hey, I wish you luck on that one. But I've long since given that shit up a while ago. And once again, just so it's clear, it's not that I can't find a woman. It's just that I choose not to really go out there to find one. I choose not to even deal with half the bullshit they put out there in the middle of society because it's just, it's fucking annoying. It is. No, I don't understand who the fuck gets it in their head to where they think people wants to play these bullshitting games 24/7. No. Just no. I don't know where the hell they get that idea, but it's just no. Not for me. Man, life is too fucking short, and that shit's too fucking annoying, and it's just a waste of your time, your money, your resources, and your life in general. Not to say relationships are, but those fucked up ones that will just basically get you into trouble, yeah, those are a waste of time. Basically, that's just my advice on, on my current stance on relationship situations right now. It's not, and again, I repeat, it's not that you cannot find a good woman, men out there. It's not, ladies, it's not that you can't find a good guy out there. It's not. You got to understand, you got to be able to, the only one way to really have a great relationship, you got to understand that there are going to be opposites to the situation when it comes to a relationship. And it's your willingness to basically work that out and basically work it together to make something of it. That's the point. You go in for something that you just like, it's not going to be compatible because it's not going to work out in the end. Something's clearly going to happen to where it's going to be at the point to where you don't like the shit, and then it's just going to be not what you expected. And especially for the women who are addicted to attention, you're going to see that shit happen again, and again, and a couple more times, and they will never really understand it until, they can't do the shit that they used to do anymore. Man, this world has gotten so fucking twisted. We got people way too out of their dating range doing this shit, man. And that, it's a certain point in life when you get older, you were supposed to already have found somebody by then. And if you can't, if the situation is like way too out of hand to where you just don't want to be bothered, then you need to find the, condition yourself to be. For men, it's monk wise is what I like to call it. It's definitely going like full on monk. Is what I like to call it. To just be happy with life. Be one with with yourself. Be in tune with your inner being, and being the best that you can be. And that's what I seek to do. I love me, and I want to do the best I can by me. But I also have love for everybody else out there as well. I care deeply for so many people, but this situation we're dealing with is so damn sinister that so many people's minds are manipulated. So many people programmed. So many people give it into greed, give it into this corruption that just destroys them, makes them less of a person than when they used to be. It takes who you are and converts you into something that it favoritizes, that it wants you to be. That's not living. That's just programming. I don't want to be a fucking program. I don't want to be what someone else wants me to be. I want to be who I want to be. The only way for me to do that is getting the hell off the grid and getting this junk out of my system for good. Because staying on the grid is not going to help me break free from that at all. It's not. I want to be able to help so many people out there, man, but they fix this shit up so badly that it's not even going to be easy at all. It isn't. It's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult. Um, I wish every other TI out there luck, as well as for every true seeker. Do the best you can to the best of your abilities. And as always, stay safe, stay strong.